Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to look at a couple of absolutely beautiful blades from Schneider Customs. Now Craig Schneider is a custom maker in Claremont, Illinois, and these knives here are the Fieldhand. If you take a look back at one of my prior videos, you will see me using this Fieldhand in a full field use wilderness application. Now this knife to me is the perfect little companion blade, and here you see another Fieldhand side by side. Just a little bit different, some differences here that we're going to talk about, but the knife we're really here to look at is one of Craig's newest designs. Here you have the Hellhound. This knife is an absolute beast of a wilderness survival blade. Has a little crossover into some tactical applications, but this is just one beautiful piece. And the two of these knives side by side make an excellent combination. Now I had the luxury of bringing these out for some good hard field use, and we are going to roll in that footage in a little bit. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to Craig Schneider, who did provide these for review. Now, with that said, I am actually helping Craig with this project. This Hellhound here is a brand new design. It doesn't have much, if really any, in the way of field use testing. And he sent this to me to put it through the paces. And beyond that, I'm helping Craig get the word out on some of his new work and even his prior designs. Craig does a beautiful job, and I'm really trying to support him. Now let's be honest, I have a ton of projects, a ton of videos to produce, and more blades than I could even possibly use. So why would I take my time to back a guy like Craig Schneider? Well, bottom line is, Craig is an awesome guy, a wonderful maker, and he just has beautiful work. Very clean lines, gorgeous fit and finish, some wonderful designs, and I'm doing this not just for Craig, but for all of you, because I think you guys deserve to see this. And at this point, if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into with these beautiful blades, do me a favor, stay tuned. And so here, again, we have the Hellhound. Designed and fabricated by Craig Schneider of Schneider Customs. Here we have a full, thick, 1/4 inch stock of 1095 high carbon steel. This knife weighing in at around 14.9 ounces. Now to put it into perspective, my BK7 is 14.4 ounces and my Longhorn Bowie 17.1 ounces. The overall length of this Hellhound is 12.5 inches, with a blade length of 7.5 inches and a handle length of 5 inches. The overall blade depth at right around 2 inches. It does vary a bit, but I'd say just about 2 inches. The handle, beautiful slabs of black polished G10 with toxic or zombie green liners. This has a full 1 inch thick palm swell and just absolutely melts in your hands. Held on by stainless pins and a perfectly fluted stainless steel hollow lanyard tube. The blade is finished off with a hand-sanded satin flat with an unsharpened swedge, a beautifully sharpened 90-degree spine, and a tapered, full tang design. This Hellhound is absolutely magnificent. And the Fieldhand, a 5/32 inch stock of 1080 high carbon steel. Now with two versions, the thin version being 4.1 ounces, and the version here being the full palm swell at 4.3 ounces. This Fieldhand has an overall length of 7 7/8 inches, with a blade length of 3.5 inches and a handle length of 4 1/4 inches. The blade depth is 1 1/8 inches and is a full flat grind with a drop point design. It does have a very subtle recurve. This particular knife coming with a hand-sanded satin finish, a sharpened 90-degree spine, and a beautiful tapered, fully polished tang. Finished off with brass pins that hold on the polished black G10 handle slabs with toxic or zombie green liners. This is the perfect companion blade to the Hellhound. But now at this point, let's get out into the wilderness and enjoy some field use footage.
Yeah, I know, I don't want to. Oh, that's the trail right there? Oh, I'm making sure I'm not covering it. Yo!
a favor?
Yeah.
Just stand on that side. Stand down low. See if this will go. Okay. Yep. Nice. Let's see if this will go without friggin' breaking. Oh, fuck. That's the problem, is it's a full flat grind on the edge. I don't think it's going to be able to do this work without getting stuck. The problem with batoning with a full flat grind is you don't get any splitting action on the top of the knife. So I can get the knife into the wood. The question is, will it drive down and through? We'll see. Gotta clean up my baton first. Alright, let's try that again. Getting there. Really? It'll do it, but it's a chore.
Thought that was your filter, and I was like, oh no. It depends. I mean, if it starts to slow down, you can always back flush it. You know, if we have really crappy water, you might have to back flush it in the fields. Like ponds, especially. Like, I'm going to fire the fire up, less embers, more flame.
Yeah, there we go.
Pull that grate out of there before you...
awesome. Now, generally speaking, this is doing a... Oh. So, tiny little chip there, totally my fault. Generally speaking, this is doing a wonderful job carving, taking nice pieces of wood, very controlled, bang, just really ripping through the wood. This edge is beautiful, and unfortunately, due to my stupidity, now I need to touch it up a bit. But being a full flat grind, this is definitely doing a great job, and that recurve there is just ripping through the wood. Very controlled, feels great, comfortable in the hand, indexing absolutely beautifully for the carving tasks. Greatly like the way this feels, just wonderful. Now the only issue is, if you want to do push cuts, that unsharpened swedge there, very sharp to your thumb. Not that it's going to cut you, it's not what I'm saying, but it is very uncomfortable. So that unsharpened swedge is not going to lend itself to doing some of those finer little push cuts. But certain things, pros and cons, give and take, pluses and minuses. Overall, so far, performing extremely well, and this would obviously have an incredible penetrating tip with that unsharpened swedge. So alright guys, there you have it, a look at this Hellhound with a small cameo appearance from the Fieldhand. Both of these knives, absolutely wonderful. I greatly enjoyed using these out on my wilderness adventure. So my thoughts on this Hellhound. Well, bottom line is, this thing is an absolute beast. It chopped about the best of any knife I have in this size class. Pretty much outperformed all my other blades in this size class for the chopping tasks. Now, granted, it was a little bit limited in my overall capability to do some batoning, so for the general woodscraft, and I would say more towards the firecraft, just a little bit limited. I think it could do a better job if it had more of a saber grind. It would do a little bit of a better job splitting and not binding up. That's the thing. When you get into a blade that's this deep on a flat grind, it does have the potential to bind. And it just makes batoning a ton of work, and not only that, but it has the potential to stress the knife. However, bottom line is, this thing has a great balance, forward weighted, but that's what you want in a kukri style blade. I mean, this is right in that sort of sweet spot where you get that forward momentum, a nice chopping action, great hook on the back. Now, just a little bit sharp here. I would like to see this rounded out just enough on that sort of beak there so you don't really get that hot spot. I did find after a bunch of use, I actually ended up with a small blister on the back of my hand. It didn't really bother me. It wasn't a big deal. I could have got away with this probably if I wore gloves, and it wouldn't have been any problem at all. The good thing is this absolutely locks up in your hand. It's not going to fly out. It's not going to go anywhere. And the weight is good where it's pretty efficient. I found that I didn't really fatigue. I was able to work with this for a good amount of time, really controlled strikes, did a pretty good job in my accuracy overall, trying to get at least a reasonable V-cut, and this would do it. And where this was really my only tool for that type of task, granted we did have a saw, but it wasn't mine, and I really do like to practice as if this was my one and only tool, it could do the work. I got through the wood, I made a nice V, I was able to snap it, and it kept me getting all my pieces of wood for my fire down to length. That's a big deal. Now, for me, typically this type of knife is going to be used for firecraft, general camp tasks, as you saw, clearing my area to get my camp set up. So this definitely performs. I didn't find it was overly heavy, and I found as though it sat nicely on my pack and on my hip. So generally speaking, very, very nice. Now at this point, we're far from done with this Hellhound. There's still a lot to do. This needs a full sheath system. And that's another thing that I'm going to be getting into with Craig Schneider. So moving forward, we're going to reach out to Mark at Extreme Edge Custom Kydex, who actually does the work for my TFK T17. He's going to help us design and develop a full sheath system for this Hellhound, as well as the Fieldhand as a companion blade. So both of these going to get themselves some new skins, getting themselves a nice Kydex sheath system capable of really carrying these wonderfully out into the field. And a knife like this, and a knife like this, they definitely deserve it. So moving forward, as I mentioned, a whole bunch more to do and a whole bunch more coming your way. If you're enjoying the field use footage of this Hellhound, I can tell you, you will greatly enjoy having this blade in your hands. And the Fieldhand too. Beautiful little EDC companion knife. Can't go wrong. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.